Yo, yo. This video is going to be a testimony. It's going to be a video about my reality. It's going to be a video that I'm going to try to illustrate the best I can what actually is going on with me, with what I've been through. I'm going to try my best. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm just going to speak from the heart. The main theme here is masculinity, I guess. Masculinity, family, essentially the hell we've created in society. I have deep regret for my actions, my contrarian viewpoint, my extreme way of thinking. I've lived the best life. This is what is leading to my emotional collapse and has been so for years now, is I don't understand who I am. I don't understand what happened as far as having everything and it not being enough and wanting it back so bad, but also being not the same person as I was, and having a extreme paralyzing, just being paralyzed by who I have become, who I've changed into versus who I was, and how who I was everything I thought I wanted to be. And for a lot of ways it was everything I wanted. I just wanted more, I guess. I never felt good enough. And I lived pretty much as hedonistic as you can imagine. And I think I conflated like success with a lot of superficial things. And that's where I struggle. I struggle with the idea of masculinity, the idea of, fulfillment, of validation, of a life well lived, a life filled with meaning and drive and creativity and expression. And I feel like there's a slippery slope between having that and when a lifestyle is not based off of value for anyone else. I think it is innately destructive in that it's not all I created in the end was stimulation and pleasure for myself and people around me, and then FOMO for those outside the circle, and just like a very superficial thing. It got out of control so freaking fast and led to just hell on earth. And it's hard for me making these videos. Like, I want to talk about what I've learned about narcissism and people that have hurt me and people that I don't believe are good people, and trying to help people with their own situations. And also, I don't want to just be complaining. It doesn't help anyone. Like, I talk about vulnerability, I talk about reality, I talk about truth, and it becomes another negative thing on the internet, and I just struggle so much. Like I struggle with that. Like, content Like I just want to just go out and just go into a mosh pit and just connect and just go back to 15, 20 years ago. I can't live without that. I miss that. I miss genuine connection. I miss vulnerability. I miss masculinity. I miss brotherhood. I miss my friends. I miss strong friends and getting into trouble and doing the wrong, like saying the wrong thing to see how it works, and growth. Having said that, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, being wrong to figure out what's right, not being judged and feeling afraid to speak and feeling afraid to walk up to a girl, feeling afraid to express yourself to a girl, to be strong for a girl, to be yourself for yourself and for your family. And as an ant walks over the camera, what the hell? It's an ant on my thing. And like, I guess I had the best life because it was having belief in myself and others seeing what I saw, and they wanted to be a part of it, and it was beautiful and fun and freeing. And then it got really, really demonic and sick, and I took things as far as they could go. And it's funny, it's only when I kind of gave up my man card for two reasons. Well, multiple reasons, but the two big reasons was a deep, what I usually do when things are going great is I destroy everything to put the ball in the court of people that claim to love me, i.e., destroy everything and then say, hey, help me pick up the pieces, and if you don't love me, which is wrong. And then number two was there's many reasons, but the other big reason I'll talk about is to be the contrarian, to be the, I was the masculine whatever with the women in the zone, and I challenge ideas. And I remember a particular party that I was involved with that was very feminist centric, and yet she's hanging out with me and intimate with me and very feminist and woke and all this crap. And I go, okay, well, let's see what happens when we change polarities. And I changed polarities, and I was feminine, and I was submissive, and I'm an open-minded person. I went the other way. And it went from, it's like experimental and adventurous to like any man. It's usually the men that are dominant that are doing that stuff, because it's like a break from their serious control, like their leadership. Men in leadership roles do that, so they don't have to always be in control. It's actually therapeutic. But then it went from that to almost infantilization. It went from that to the quote from, it comes up in my mind from The Sopranos, when Tony's talking to the therapist about mothers are our bus drivers. They drop us off and they go on their way. The problem is we keep trying to get back on the bus. And I was trying to get back on the bus. I was trying to get back on the bus with everything I had, and I took it to a pathological level, and it took everything from me. And I don't know how to tell. I've been trying forever to try and tell the story and try and, like, I have something to say. I can't. Every road is pointed. I'm trying to just move on with my life, but every road is pointing. Every road is pointing into me doing these videos. I don't know what it is. It's probably every time I have a friendship or I have whatever it is, it just like isolates me more. I keep getting isolated. Freaking uncle kicks me out. Spend time in a freaking mental institution. Something else happens. Spend time in a mental institution. Like, just isolated no matter what. The only connection, real connection, has been in these mental institutions. I've been in like 7 of them in the last 2 years, and been completely destroyed by my own family, losing everything, having to look at the worst things I couldn't look at, and now I have to look at them. And I've never been more clear about what mental disorders are, about who I am, about what happened to me, and yet I can't express the truth. I can't really put into words what happened. I just know that it was wrong. And everything I've learned is now I look at the world and it's like that's normalized. Like the stuff that I was just toying with, that stole my soul, that took away my man card, that made me, destroyed my mind, destroyed my relationships. Like I am to blame. Like I did my final self-destruction. That was my final one. That was it. When sex didn't work, drugs needed to work. When sex and drugs didn't work, then more women. And more women, more sex and drugs didn't work, then more, just more. Poor, like everything just got more demonic. I swear I saw pentagrams in my vision. I swear to God. Pentagrams pulsating in my vision after the drugs and the sex and like a blackout state. It was demonic. And then when all that was petering out, now workaholism. And when that just snapped my brain, just broke it. And then everything got worse. And I lost absolutely everything. And I blame myself for not having boundaries and to be the contrarian and to be the self-destructive person, that I'm not good enough. That's why boundaries are everything for a man. I am the proof. You have to have them. No one cares about you when you don't have anything to offer. It is part of, that is the worst part about being a man in a society that doesn't recognize male strength, like, and doesn't, and pushes back against it. But then why is it then when you have that energy, everything works out better? Like, it's so weird that, it's not weird is the wrong word, but it's so like, it's like almost evil. It's almost like, it's just the concept of like putting men down for being real and strong and like, and then it's one thing when women do it, when other men do it, it's just like we've created this like mishmash of estrogen with sprinkles of testosterone that are like, as people my age, it falls off at 30, but the new generation of men, it's like they're nicer. Like, it's like niceness is like the base level. You have to be nice. I don't believe that. I don't. Anger, rage, like, this is how you move forward with vigor in a direction that's positive and respected. Fear of a man's strength, like, and love and appreciation for a man's competency. Like, competency is the lifeblood of society within men. Like, it is like what creates everything. It's the basis of respect, and respect is the basis of like family, like respecting the man, not the Homer Simpson, not the Family Guy, not this garbage. The opposite of that is literally what is good. That is 1950s masculinity. The man providing, doing his job, the thing that makes him be his best self. I don't care what women do. Be masculine. Do what, like, this is the thing, is it starts with men. Women, this is how it's like innate in society for men to be leaders, because it doesn't matter how hard women push, like, and become masculine and do whatever they want, and like do whatever you want. It's fine. You cannot stifle men's masculinity. You cannot preach this toxic masculinity narrative anymore. We can't have this pussification of men, of like culture, i.e., if men are more masculine, women just accept. They follow. They submit. It is how it works. The only reason women are miserable and masculine and all this crap is because they have to be. They're survivors. They are so much. They have to survive, war bride style. We are in a war of the psyche. We are in a war for masculinity. It's a war of the psyche right now. And women are proverbial war brides in the society. They have gone to these tribes. Those are war brides. The purple hair, the green, whatever the crap, they're now in this tribe where they feel safe. And they have capitulated into where they can have resources and survive. That doesn't mean they want that. That doesn't mean they are happy with that. They are surviving in the same way men are surviving and not thriving because we're weak. This became a freaking TED Talk, but whatever. Like I said, I'm just spitballing, and I've had enough of this shit. I'll die on this hill, and I already am dead. Like, it's the weirdest feeling. I am like ready to launch off on this new path. Like a ghost, like dissociated from reality, dissociated from my former self. Like, it is incredible the amount of pain that it's taken to get me to this point, like where I don't even feel like I have anything to fear. I have nothing. Every interaction socially that I've seen has not shown me any reason to do otherwise. In other words, what I've seen in socially, when I'm talking to people, connecting, I don't see authenticity. I don't see a real self. So how can you trust that? I can trust me. I can trust what I believe, who I am. It's like a collective gaslighting is second guessing men's imperative. And just for me personally, I haven't seen anything that's like, okay, like I'm gonna assimilate into like this vibe with whoever I'm talking to. All I see is projections of insecurity and like fear in an inauthentic way. And all I want to do with that is just destroy. I just want to, it's not that I want to do anything, it's that I see it and I don't buy it. It's almost like the subtlety of sickness right now in society, and what I've seen in men especially, which is, is the subtlety of the sickness in men is like a projection of estrogen, like a projection of sadness, and it's like it's trying to like spread onto me, and I don't want to be a part of it. I just don't like this. I don't know if this makes any sense at all, but I'm experiencing like, it was overt hatred and now it's like subtle, just cowardice everywhere. I feel like anyone I talk to is gonna talk crap behind my back if they can everyone can keep each other down. Like, we've created, it's weakness. It's just your freaking weak ass. It's shameful. You should be ashamed of yourself. Just giving up. Acting like women. You're going to be catty. Come and say something in my face. Let's fight it out. Be a man. Like, where is the masculine? Where is the, I don't, we have castrated ourselves. We have allowed ourselves to be castrated as men. And I don't even consider myself masculine. I just don't. But I am probably more masculine than 90% of any guy I run into. Especially after what I've been through. I just like took my man card, and yet I still like, yeah, I flew too close to the sun. I flew too close to the sun for so many reasons. In every way, I flew way too close to that fucker. And I'm healing though. I'm seeing, I said before, and I do believe this, not that it's a good reason, not a good way to live. Like, I burden myself so you guys don't have to. Like, it sounds grandiose. It's true. I used to think that, and I still do again, You could find the truth where the extremes are. And I went to the extremes. And I found the fucking truth, okay? This is the message. This is what I've been trying to say. Like, and I know I come off whatever, know-it-all, or I come off annoying or whatever. I just need to say things. I just say what I believe. Like that is, it is what fucking is. And the extremes, like, I don't think society can sustain without masculinity, without strong men. There's nothing else that we can base anything off of. Like, it is biological. Women don't have the tools. There's never been a matriarchy in the history of the world for a reason. This is, if we want a matriarchy, like, it doesn't make any sense. First of all, it doesn't make any sense when we like conflate genders, because then we are saying that they're the same. As soon as that happened, everything got effed. Now I'm just going to get a little ranty here, because then it's to say that, like, then there's no difference, then why? God, it's so stupid. I'm not even actually going to humor that discussion. It's just stupid. We're like beyond past the failed experiment of extreme equality to the point of becoming a mishmash. It really just comes down to, like, misogyny. It's ultimate misogyny to discredit women for being women. The beauty that is the biological woman, the woman, is like, the highest form of misogyny is to not acknowledge that women are different than men. Right there. That's like, you're a misogynist. That's period. And I don't care what anyone says. That's a fact. That is what it is. Daddy's talking. Shut your mouth. Shit's crazy, man. Shit's crazy. Yeah, and I feel like the window's shut. I'm not gonna go out like this. Like, I'm fairly certain the window is like, I don't have enough power. I don't have, I don't know, I guess talking, I don't know. I know I'm gonna get, this sounds super paranoid and stuff, but me knowing who I am, and I feel like sometimes I can predict the future, is like, knowing that I can't stay quiet. I just can't. Everything that I love about myself, and this is what really messed me up, and the gaslighting of this is, like, everything I love about myself is been, and all I've ever had, and I knew from a very young age that all I have is my word. I knew that from a very young age, growing up with absolute hell. I'm like, well, what is real? What is a constant? What is something I can rely on? And I knew at 10 years old, it was my word. It was truth. It was never resting on my boundaries, never settling, never giving up my integrity. And I think I did that. I'm trying to get it back slowly but surely. Not my integrity, but I gave up. Like, I gave up on myself. I gave up all my power. And as a kid, I knew. I just found a different way to destroy myself, and that's not true. I never gave up my integrity. I never gave up the truth. I was trying to find the truth. I was trying to discredit, and when I was going down that path, it ended up taking everything from me. It became too hard to fight against. And backing up, yeah, your word is all you have as a man. Like, well, how have we forgotten that? How have we forgotten your word is everything as a man? Everything else is fake. Your boundaries, your beliefs. And that's the thing about gaslighting. I understand why people have capitulated. I understand why the new generation is confused. I understand why many men my age have given up, and they have, been the happy wife, happy life narrative. They've just kind of blended in because of their job or because of their friend group has changed. I have to think that I'm isolated for a reason. I have to think that I'm making these videos for a reason. Like, it's all I have. It's all I have is my word. It's all I have is like it's all I've ever had. I've never had family. I've never had anyone. I've never had anyone ever. I've had myself. I've had my word. I've had enmeshment in unhealthy relationships, pseudo family that I never had that would help me get by and not have to look at the pain of never actually being loved and never actually having parents or siblings or family. So I have me. I have my word.